Hello and welcome to another episode of Multiple Palettes, Multiple Looks. My name is Rachel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not new, thank you so much for coming back. I'm excited to play with 3 new indie palettes that are out on the market. If you are new here, by the way, I do primarily indie makeup here on the channel. So if you're interested in that, you should consider subscribing. But my first look, and actually all of the palettes that I'm playing with today came with other things in their collections that I'm also demoing in the video. I have the Drops of Fantasy palette from Dede Signature, a very colorful, leaning neon, bright, fun palette. They also came out with lip kits that I also demo for you in the video. Then we have the Gourmande Girls Call of the Sirens palette, a mermaid themed jewel toned palette, absolutely gorgeous for the summertime. There is also a face palette that came out in this collection that I'm demoing in the video. And then the third look is with the Wicked Widow Beauty and American Psycho collection. I am wearing that look right now. That is the third look. And there are a couple of lip products that they sent me as well that I'm using in the video. And this is what the color story looks like. So I will link all of these collections down below in the description box. I will also list everything I'm wearing on my face and all the looks in the description box. I do have an affiliate code with all 3 of these brands, which is Rachel, and you can use it to save 10% on your purchase if you want to. And the links and my codes are affiliated, which means that I do earn a small commission with the sale. So anyway, I would love to know your thoughts. Did you pick up any of these palettes? Are you eyeing them? Are you skipping on them? Are you on a no buy, on a low buy? Are you here just to watch the video? Whatever it is, thank you so much for being here. And now I'm gonna send you off to the first look with the Dede Signature Drops of Fantasy palette. All right, this is my first video back, or even just this section is my first time back filming after being at Creators and Friends, so I may be a little rusty, and I'm still exhausted. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I am going to be doing a look with the new couple of products from Dede Signature. We have the Drops of Fantasy eyeshadow palette. I don't know what it is. Every single time I look at this and read the name of the palette, I start singing Drops of Jupiter by Train. Someone make it stop. This is what the palette looks like on the inside. A very bright and colorful, I don't want to say rainbow palette, but it's rainbow-esque. Okay, it's rainbow-esque. We've got a whole bunch of different bright colors that I think are going to be perfect for the summertime. We have mostly mattes with a row of absolutely beautiful shimmers. These shimmers look very, very special. So let me give you close-ups and swatches and give you some information about this palette. Unleash your imagination with the Drops of Fantasy eyeshadow palette, a 15-pan artistry palette bursting with bold color, multi-dimensional finishes, and endless creativity. Inspired by the magic that happens when a single drop becomes a wave, this palette invites you to dream, play, and express freely. So this is vegan and cruelty-free. It was made in China. It retails for $48.99. There was originally like a 24-hour discounted sale that has already passed even by the time I'm filming this, and you are watching this who knows when after I've filmed this. But the actual launch date is May 2nd at 11 a.m. Central Time. You can use my affiliate code Rachel to save 10% off. I did receive this collection in PR. Now let's talk about the middle row, because to me that is, of course, like the shimmers. I want to describe each one to you. So the first one is Poptastic Vibes. It's a multi-chrome pink lime shimmer. It looks really beautiful. The second one is Spheres of Fun, which is a duochrome ruby. The third one is Float in Magic, which is a lilac multi-chrome holographic. This one is really beautiful. I've swatched these already. Bubble with Joy is a gold metallic, really pretty. And then we have Fizz and Fly Electric Blue Duochrome. Really gorgeous, beautiful, like special shades in here. I think for the price point, it's pretty good getting all those special shades. I did also get some lip kits, but I will get to those in a little bit. Let's start off with the eyeshadow palette. I want to do something a little out of my comfort zone. I mean, this in and of itself is pretty out of my comfort zone, okay? But I want to do something green, blue, purple, and I want to do like splitting my eye into thirds. So I want to do green, blue, purple. That's kind of my plan. Let's see how it goes. I'm definitely going to have to pull into another palette to get a matte white to layer over this green, because this isn't, I just know it's not going to be bright enough for an inner corner highlight, but I am going to take the shade Excitement, that neon green. I want to put it in my inner corner and bring it onto like the inner third of my upper and lower lash line. I have already primed my eyes and I have clearly done a lot of my face makeup already, which I don't normally do, but I'm just gonna press this. Yeah, that's very pigmented. I'm gonna press this. I'm also suffering from extreme dryness. I know I've been talking to you guys about maybe I've been having a reaction to something or like an allergic reaction. I actually think it's just extreme dryness of my eyelids around like here. So we're not gonna judge the shadow I'm putting over that dry patch too harshly at the moment. That is look how pigmented that is. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm bringing that onto my lower lash line as well. That's very pigmented. Also suffering from a lot of dryness on my under eye. Wow, that's incredible. Okay, so now I think I'm just gonna use that same brush and wipe it off. I'm gonna go into this shade called Droplets, this blue. I'm gonna apply it onto the middle part of my eye. I'm gonna carry it onto my lid. Now, of course, if I wanted to really make these pop, I could have used like a white base, but that's okay. I'm gonna put a shimmer onto my lid on top of this anyway, so I don't mind. Bringing this through. And then I'm going to take a brush that I can blend into my crease with, pick up that same droplet shade, and just blend it through my crease here in the middle. All right, now I'm going to go into the shade Globules. Oh, that's a fun word. This purple. And I'm going to put this in the outer corner. I'm also going to blend that into the crease a little bit as well. I'm going to take those same colors that I used up here. So I'm going to do the blue in the center of my lower lash line and the purple on the outer edge of my lower lash line. All right, I'm gonna go into my lid with the Shine On Shimmer Shadow Enhancer from Clionadh and BadToTheBrow. I'm gonna put it on the inner 2/3 of my lid. I'm not really gonna put it on where I put the purple. And now I'm gonna pick up the shade Fizz and Fly right here. And I want to just tap this over. I don't want it to be super opaque as much as I can. Blend that over. That is a beautiful shade. Wow, is that gorgeous? All right, I'm just grabbing a matte white. This one is from the Forget Me Not palette from Blend Bunny. I want to just layer that over the inner corner. Yeah, just to brighten it up a little bit. Beautiful. If I had gorgeous lashes, I would just curl my lashes and put on mascara. I think that would be so beautiful with this look, to just let the eyeshadows be the star of the moment. I don't know if that's going to look good on me because I just don't have any lashes. They point straight down, but I will see. But in the meantime, let me put on one of these lip kits. I have not yet tried them. I have swatched them. I was able to pick out 3. I picked out Charm, Peach, and Petal. The lip kits include a lip liner and a lip gloss. They're going to retail for $14.99. It says, this essential duo features a creamy pigmented lip liner and a high shine lip gloss that together create the ultimate soft glam look. Smooth blendable liner for definition and shaping, High Shine Non-Sticky Gloss for Hydration and Glow. So that's exciting. Let's do Charm. Charm looks like a pinky nude. It's actually like a pinky peach. It's a very light color on me. But that was a really creamy lip liner. I wouldn't say it's overly creamy. I wouldn't say it's stiff. It worked out great. Let's put on the Charm lip gloss. Has like a smaller doe foot applicator. Really nice. I would say it's more of a balmy formula. Very comfortable on the lips. I would say medium pigment level. It has a little bit, is it burning or is it minty? Let's wait and see. But it smells really good. Something like sweet smelling. I'm gonna leave this on my lips. I'm gonna go off camera. I'm going to finish up the rest of the look. I will come back to show you the final look. All right, and this is the finished look. What do you think? I'm feeling colorful. I ended up just putting on mascara. Do I love it with just mascara? Like I said, if my lashes were a little more curly and full, I think it would be so pretty, but I'm going with it. I am going with it, all right? I think that the mattes worked great, especially that neon green. Holy moly, that is probably one of the most pigmented neon greens I've ever used in my life. That was so pigmented. The blue was a little less pigmented, although my eyelids are really dry. I have to work with it. Let me see how I feel. The purple worked great. The shimmer on the lid is absolutely beautiful. I will say after swatching some of these shimmers, some of them do feel a little more textured and chunky than I expect from the brand, so I'll have to play around with those a little bit more, use them on the eyes. Of course, that is definitely what I want to base my reviews on, is how they perform on the eyes, not just how they swatch. So the lip gloss and lip liner duos, the actual gloss is very nice. It's very balmy. Like, it's not very glossy feeling, if that makes sense. It reminds me of the Unearthly Cosmetics lip glosses, if you've ever used those, where they are a little bit more balmy feeling. That's kind of the only way I can describe them. They're not gonna look overly glossy, overly wet looking, but super comfortable. So love that. I will, of course, leave Dede Signature's website down below if you want to go ahead and check it out. They've already got these products up on the site. Again, I don't know when this video is going up, but if you want to check out like more information, go ahead and click on the link down below. But that's it. That's all I have to say. I'm going to send you off to the next look now. All right, so I'm back for another look, and this time we're going to use the new Gourmande Girls collection. We have the Call of the Sirens palette and the Mermaid Magic face palette. I don't think they've ever done a face palette before, so I'm so excited to dip into that especially. So I did receive this collection in PR from the brand, and I do have an affiliate code with Gourmande Girls. It's Rachel. If you want to save 10% off, you can use my code at checkout. This was a collaboration with Doodles by the Bunny, which is an artist. I will link her Instagram down below. They've worked together several times, and I think it's a match made in heaven. I really do. So this is a mermaid themed collection, which I do love for the summertime, and this color story is absolutely beautiful. We've got jewel tones, we've got some neutral pops in there, but I do really feel like this is going to be perfect for the spring and summertime if you are a color lover. But I do think it's got some muted tones in there for someone like me who is more of a neutral lover. And then the face palette I think is really interesting in terms of the colors. I don't really have blushes or highlights in these colors, so I love that. It's not just like a repeat of the same kind of blushes and highlights that we get all the time. So very excited to dip into those. Let me give you some close-ups and swatches and some information about the collection. The Call of the Sirens palette is currently in stock at the moment of filming. It retails for $55.99. It is cruelty-free and vegan, and it was made in China. A treasure box-filled jewel tone dream awaits you with our Call of the Sirens palette. Whether you want to be dark and spellcasting or light and whimsical, fulfill your mermaid fantasies with this magical palette and be whisked out to sea for an enchanted journey. I have not even swatched this yet, so I'm excited. I'm going in kind of just blinded to be surprised. Let's talk about the face palette. So this is the Mermaid Magic face palette. It retails for $45. It is cruelty-free and vegan, and it was made in China. Turn your complexion dreams into reality with the Mermaid Magic Face Palette, featuring an assortment of 6 Gourmande Girl blushes and highlighters, lusciously creamy blushes, and high shine highlighters formulated to suit all skin tones and be inclusive for all. Let me know if you picked anything up from this collection. I know it did launch a little bit a while ago. I did receive it kind of after launch, and then I went to Creators and Friends, so it's taking me kind of a long time to get to this, but I definitely wanted to use the products on camera with you, so let me know your thoughts. So I actually want to go in with the face palette first before I get to the eyes. I did do a lot of my face makeup ahead of time, which again, don't usually do, but I'm very short on time. Always. I'm crazy busy. But anyway, I'm gonna go into the shade Seashell right here, this more like peach blush. I'm gonna use more of a fluffy brush at first because I don't know the pigment level on this. It definitely looks like a lot of product, yeah, picks up on the brush. So I don't want to use something too dense. That color is super pretty. Really pretty. I love that. So I definitely would say these are on the pigmented side because I did use a very fluffy brush and I used very little product, and I did get a good layer of color, as you can see. Love that color. I think that's so pretty. I'm actually going to spray my face with a setting spray before I go in with the highlighter because it looks like it may be sparkly and I don't want to get it everywhere. So I'm using the Milk Hydro Grip setting spray. And I want to go in with this shade called Strand. It looks like it's a duochrome that goes from like white to green. Very interesting. Yeah, it definitely looks very sparkly. That is so pretty though. Let me back up so you can see that shift. Does not have a base color to it, which is nice because I do feel like it will fit a lot of skin tones, but it's definitely very sparkly. So keep that in mind, but it's very pretty. It's very ethereal, very mermaid-esque, which makes sense. Okay, so I put on a lip as well. This is one of the new Dede signature lip kits. I just used another one in the last look, obviously. I am going to go in to the eyeshadow palette now. I have already primed my eyes. I am going to pick up the shade Seahorse, this brown, and I'm gonna pick it up on a fluffy brush. I'm gonna try to see if I can put this through my crease as like a transition shade. I don't know how deep it's going to be, but we're gonna try it. Yeah, that actually works. I'm gonna take that same shade just on a smaller brush, and I wanna put that a little lower in the crease and in the outer corner. That actually looks beautiful. I was able to use one shade and make it look dimensional, make it look like I used a few shades. I'm gonna take that same shade and put it on my lower lash line. God, that is so, listen, it's just a brown matte shadow, but it gets me going. I wanna deepen it up a little bit with the shade Femme right here, which is a very dark purple. I'm just gonna put that in the outer corner. Very pigmented. And I'm gonna put that on my lower lash line, but just in the outer half. I'm gonna take the NYX Glitter Primer and put that on my lid. I wanna pick up the shade Bewitch, this like gold. It's like a yellowy gold. Oh, so pretty. I wanna put that all over my lid. That is just a really pretty shimmer. It doesn't look like it has any shifts or anything, but if you know me, you know I love a standard shimmer, and that is very shiny. It's not like chunky or textured. And where that shimmer and matte meet, I am gonna take just a little bit of Serene right here and put that in the middle. This one is a little more textured. Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. And for my inner corner, I want to use this shade called Spellcaster up here. I am going to spray the brush. This one looks like an iridescent duochrome, which I love when they include those in their palettes. They usually do include one every time. I love them as an inner corner pop, or you can layer it, of course, too, on top of other shadows. Ooh, I'm feeling very beachy. All right, I'm gonna head off camera. I'm gonna finish up the rest of this look and I will come back to show you the final look. All right, and this is the finished look. What do you think? I love it. I really, really love it. I think it came out so pretty, and leave it to me to try to find a neutral look out of this. And I think I did that. I think I did that, but it's not like a boring kind of like barely there neutral look. This still has shine. It still has interest, in my opinion, but I was able to really create dimension with this one brown matte. Of course, I did dip into that darker purple to deepen up the look, but very impressed, very impressed. The shimmers that I use are really pretty. I can just tell by looking at the pan, and I'm familiar with the Gourmande Girls formula. These two shimmers that I used mostly are smooth. And then this one that I kind of just tapped over has a little more texture to it. There is one here that has a little more texture to it. So if you are someone that likes different textures in your shimmers, you may really enjoy the Gourmande Girls formula. I don't love a textured shimmer, but I'm not gonna really give you a full review on this until I use those on my eyes. But the ones that I did use on my eyes today, I'm very impressed with, and I really enjoy this look. So happy about that. The blush and highlight, again, I will continue using this, but I love this color. Love this color, and I really enjoy this more iridescent greenish kind of highlight. Really fun, really on theme. I love it. So yes, I am gonna send you off to the next look now. So for my third look for this video, I am going to be doing a look with the Wicked Widow American Psycho collaboration. The packaging on this collection, they sent me a few things in PR. The packaging is so good, super vivid, super high quality. It is a licensed collab, so I'm not surprised that the quality is very good, but wow, absolutely beautiful. The outer carton of the palette is the same as the actual palette. Let me show you the color story really quick. We have this, I say kind of half neutral, half colorful color story, and it does lean more cool toned in general. The pans in this are very large. Like, I didn't expect them to be this large, and it is a very heavily matte palette, which I prefer. I haven't used a Wicked Widow beauty palette in quite some time, but I really enjoyed their quality, especially their shimmers are extremely shiny, star of the show moment. So very excited to dip into this. I actually haven't even swatched this at the moment of filming this portion. So the American Psycho palette retails for $66. It is vegan and cruelty-free. It includes 15 mattes and 5 duochromes. The palette is also magnetic. It does not say where it was made, so I can't tell you that. I don't see it on the palette. I don't see it on the actual website either. So unfortunately, I can't tell you that. Then we also have a couple of other products that they sent to me. This is the lipstick. Look at the outer carton. So well done. Rockin' and a Rollin' is the shade that they sent me. The actual bullet looks like this. Really well done. It is a magnetic closure, which I absolutely love. And it is this kind of like brown, oof, like a caramel color. I do believe this is a metallic lipstick or like a shimmer lipstick. So excited to give that a shot. They're shimmer lipsticks. So they retail for $18 each. The one that I got is called Rockin' and Rollin', and it's described as a light brown shimmer. It is vegan and cruelty-free. Then we have one of the lip glosses. So that's what the outer carton looks like. This is what the actual component looks like. Super pretty, kind of frosted plastic with an ombre. I got the shade Raincoat, which looks like it's clear. Let me just swatch it on my hand. Yeah, it's clear and it has some shimmer to it. Yeah, you can see. Really beautiful. Has a very light scent to it, kind of like a fruity scent. The American Psycho lip glosses retail for $16 each. I got the shade Raincoat, which is a clear shimmer. They also have another shade that is red called Bloodlust. It is vegan and cruelty free. Now, as I've already said, I did receive this collection in PR from the brand, and I do have an affiliate code with Wicked Widow. It's Rachel. If you want to save 10% off your purchase, you can use my code, and I do earn a small commission from that code. There are some other things in the collection. There was a PR box that sold out pretty quickly for $225 with all of the products. There is an American Psycho Bloody Shimmer Oil for $36. There's also the American Psycho Blush Duo. That is something that I want to pick up in the future. I love the packaging with the business card outside. Man, it's really well done, and the colors look really pretty. That retails for $36. I don't know if I said that. Very well done collection. I'm so excited to give these products a try. Let's do it. I want to play with the greens. These greens, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm first going to go into, I've already primed my eyes, by the way. I'm first going to go into the shade Double Life right here, and I want to put this through my crease. This palette does have a really big mirror as well, which is nice. My eye is so irritated. It's really bad. I'm still not sure if it's due to a reaction or if it's just dry. I have no idea. It's all under my eyes as well. It's a really pretty color. It's not a pastel, but it is a very light kind of sage green, very interesting color. I'm gonna go into the shade Evelyn up here. I'm gonna put this a little lower in the crease. Did that do anything for depth? I don't know. But I'm committed now, so I'm doing it. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade Greed right here and put this in the outer corner. I'm gonna go onto my lid with the Shine On Shimmer Shadow Enhancer from Clionadh and BadToTheBrow. And now I wanna go in with the shade Envy right here, which looks like not as shiny of a shimmer as the other ones, but I definitely wanna try it. Ooh, it looks really pretty. That shimmer is so pretty, super smooth. That's one thing I will say, super smooth, really, really pretty. Love it. Okay, let's continue on. While I finish up my eyes, I want to put the lip gloss on my lips just to like test it out, feel it out, whatever. So again, this is in the shade Raincoat and it's described as a clear with shimmer. It smells really good, like strawberry. This is a very, very balmy gloss, very balmy. So it actually doesn't even feel like a gloss. It feels like a balm, which is interesting. And it is shimmery, but it's almost like a, how do I describe this? Almost like a multi-chrome highlighter where it's not like sparkles, but there is like that little shift when you look at it. Very interesting, but very balmy. I'm gonna leave it on my lips while we finish up the eye look. I'm gonna dip back into the palette. I'm actually gonna go into the shade Reservation up here, and I'm gonna push that up against my lower lash line. Now I'm gonna blend that out with Greed, that dark green shade we used. And for my inner corner, I wanna go into the shade Vein. Super pretty and sparkly. I'm gonna take that up onto the inner part of my lid as well. All right, so now we're gonna try out the lipstick. I wiped off the lip gloss. I lined my lips with Makeup Forever's Artist Color Pencil in Wherever Walnut. This is a very warm brown lipstick, and when I just swatched it on the back of my hand, it seems like it's gonna be pretty sheer. So I actually don't have like a very warm brown lip liner of the tons of lip liners that I have. I don't have one that's really gonna match this perfectly, so I'm just gonna try it out with this one. So this is, definitely feels very matte on the lips. And I don't really see shimmer. Interesting, I don't really see shimmer. It is a really pretty color. Very interesting color that I don't really have, but I will say it feels very matte on the lips. It doesn't say, like on the website, it doesn't say anything about the finish. And I don't know about the other ones, but it definitely feels like a matte lipstick. And I would say it doesn't really look shimmery. On the bullet itself, it looks shimmery, but when it's on my lips, I don't really see it. Maybe I have to break through the layer or whatever. Maybe I have to play with it a little bit more, but I will say it looks very pretty. Like the color is very interesting, very warm, brownish orange color, which I love personally. All right, I'm back with the final look. What do you think about my, I just got my hair colored and you can definitely see that gorgeous hair color headband I'm wearing. I'm trying to cover it with my hair. Anyway, what do you think about the look? I think it came out really pretty. I really enjoy greens, so I'm always happy with the green look. The shimmers, as I expected from the brand, are absolutely beautiful. The one that's on my lid, it's interesting because when I look at it in the pan, it doesn't look like anything special. It looks like almost like a satin, but man, is it shiny and beautiful and reflective on the lid. It's not sparkly or anything like that, but honestly, I love me a good standard, pretty, shiny shimmer, and that is exactly what that is. The one in the inner corner is absolutely beautiful, has a little more sparkle to it, and I can tell that by just the look in the pan. The mattes worked out good. I have to play with them a little bit more, but the ones that I used worked out just fine and dandy. But yes, the lip products, I'll have to keep using them, but I kind of already described my thoughts. The lip gloss is definitely more on the balmy side. The lipstick, I would say, is a little more on the matte side. And if you are someone that's like, I'm not sure about a metallic shimmer lipstick, this one has very little shimmer. At least the one that I received. So that could be good for someone that is just wanting to dip their toes into a shimmer lipstick. So yeah, let me know about your thoughts on any of the palettes I used in today's video. Which one is your favorite? Did you pick any of them up? Are you thinking of picking any of them up? Are you skipping? Are you on a no-buy? You're just here to watch the video? Whatever it is, let me know, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye.